Hello everyone, back to our TLI parenting channel where we like to give you really good hints for your life. My name is Marian Hofgartner. I'm an educationalist. I will give you all of these few points from the study of education. So this is where I come from, so just for you to know. Today I'd like to address a very important question that is coming to us over and over again. Whenever I meet parents, they tell me, how can I make sure not to spoil my child? And I don't want to have a spoiled brat when it's grown up, who is doing whatever it wants and doesn't follow rules. I really want to make sure, but I also don't want to limit my child. So what is the proper balance? So I think it's very easy to understand for you when we bring it in two kind of areas. Can you see? So we say on one hand we have to spoiling, on the other hand we have caring. There's a huge difference between spoiling a child and then also about caring about a child. It's very important that we care for our children because they are really depending on us. So in TLI pedagogics we always give this kind of picture to parents and also to teachers that when a baby is born, it's in a situation where it depends on the adult. Until adulthood is reached, that is the process when the child becomes more and more independent. And this is actually what we as parents or as educators guide. And so this is why we need to be very caring and also can establish a certain kind of caringness in the child by doing so. So when we speak about a spoiled child, that's normally a child that is really a little bit out there and a little hard also for parents to deal with. So normally children who are spoiled have a lot of behavioral problems. So they don't behave properly. They really think they are the universe and everything needs to turn around them. So it's also very hard for them if they can't have anything or they have to wait for something. So in society that really creates a problem. In the community of a classroom setup that also creates a problem. And parents normally also have problems with that kind of children at home. So this is when it comes to a child who is really spoiled. A child who is really spoiled, you also can say it's a child who is constantly demanding. So it's no wonder if mom and dad are really exhausted at the end of the day. It's hard to really deal with such a personality. And then also in this kind of children, there's always a desire for more. And there's a desire that can't really be fulfilled. This desire seems never to stop. So that is also a sign of a spoiled child. And if that happens, we can really say, on one hand, congratulations to the consumer and capitalistic and consumer-oriented market, because this will be a long-term customer, because they're so preoccupied with the thoughts what or what not to have, and whenever something comes they need to have it. They lack also a lot of discipline, so in the working market it's getting hard for those children. So it's not really very recommended to spoil a child. Only if you want to have a long-term customer who buys all of your things, then that's what you need to do, spoil them, and they want to have. So we speak about the balance between caring and leaving out the spoiling, but not being too rude or untouchable for the child. And so this is what we'd like to look at. So when it comes to care, it's like, so we care about the needs of a child. There are certain needs that a child has in its process of growing up and becoming an independent adult. So these needs need to be fulfilled because the child needs to have security, food, shelter. So they are the basic needs we know from the Maslow hierarchy of needs. But then there are also the need of hugging, of someone who helps to regulate the emotions, someone who is there who helps to understand how to behave in society, someone who is there who helps to understand how to communicate with another child, how to express if we want something. And so now with the word want, we already come to the other side. We are the side of wants. So parents who fulfill all of the wants, I want this, I want that, I need it because everyone has it. That's not really a need, it's a want. So wants can be fulfilled on a certain basis, for example, for birthday gifts, for special events like now in Europe we are facing Christmas seasons. Of course there will be a gift. In some other traditions you have, like maybe in India we know you have Diwali, there are gifts. Sometimes there's kind of a children festival or a children's day where they can get gifts. Something special can be given on such celebration days. Or also if there's really a good reason why this want should be fulfilled. So the balance between needs and wants is a very important factor between if you care for your child or if you spoil your child. So wants on a base to base, but not on a regular basis, can be fulfilled and will make your child happy. It always should be something special to get, something that you want. And the needs make sure that your child also establishes and develops a very good self-esteem and also becomes a caring person themselves. So that is important, because in this you also focus a lot on observing your child and appreciating the needs and your child on the way. Another is let's go to the wants first. It's about the reaction. It's about reacting in that moment. So on the other side, we have the reflection, the introspection and the reflecting on the actions. So when we care about children, we take time to sit with them and to also introspect and reflect on certain things which happen. From the viewpoint of heart, we communicate with them, we take time to say what happened, why did you become angry, what was confusing you, why have you been frustrated, how may I help you to next time be able to handle that better. This how may I help you is the role of an adult who helps their child to become an independent personality, what we want that they can be on their own when they are so-called adults. The reacting is more on the area of just reacting in that moment. No, don't do this, don't do that. Yes, you get that. For example, let's say you're in a supermarket. I experienced this many times. I'm in the supermarket. In front of me there's a mother with a child. The child wants chocolate. The mother doesn't want to give because it has already something in the cart for the child, but the child insists on having it, becomes noisy, it becomes frustrated, it starts to cry, and before it starts to scream, the mom gives it. So reacting on the situation, which then also by the child is understood that when I behave in a certain way, I get what I want. So here it is really important to be careful not to get the child accustomed to this idea of getting what you want when you behave in a certain way. What we need to understand that the human being has one part of the body which actually is kind of the model for the computer, we could say. So the brain works in a certain way that it is programmed by what we experience. So by what we experience, trial and error, it's also called, we learn certain kind of behavior. And so when we learn that when we start to scream, that then it's given, this is kind of a program that's set, and the more often it's repeated, the stronger and stronger it gets. So be very careful with reacting to situations better, reflect, introspect with your child. You know, we have something in your cart, think about it. Do you really need this chocolate? Maybe if you take this chocolate, let's put the other thing away. Let's have only one piece. Let's make a decision together. I'll help you to understand. So that is very important. Then we have two more. Like here, in spoiling, we have a lot of overstimulation. So what we also see in children who are spoiled, their rooms are full with all kind of toys. Sometimes you can see that they don't value them, they're laying around, they're half broken, they don't really care for them. Maybe with 80% of these toys they anyhow don't play, so they're completely overstimulated. What we also notice sometimes that those kind of toys and surrounding things, they are making noise. There's a sound to it, there's something they see to it, so there's constant stimulation to the child. This constant stimulation also causes the child to become more interested upon outer impulses and less interested about the from inside coming impulses, which actually is the natural way of development. So it's really important that you also be very careful about that, and that you assess. Yeah, you carefully assess before you buy a toy, together with your child, if it's already in the age to understand, but about the age of 3, 4, they start to understand a little better. What kind of toys are really the ones you want your child to have. Maybe prefer things which are quiet, which have something what the child has to understand, which are more slow, because anyhow the world is moving so fast nowadays. So what is the point on caring? So when you are becoming very aware about caring for your child and trying to help your child to become the best version of itself, to become a person, an adult who developed social skills, life skills, has a strong self-esteem, then that means that you are acting with your child in a certain way. And this acting with your child, that is what you role model to your child on how to be as an adult, how a mature person is. So in creating human beings, in helping human beings to become caring human beings, our role modeling is very important. We completely underestimate the role of role modeling, this factor, the methodology of role modeling. It actually makes almost most of what we learn. Like, for example, think about it. When you want to learn dancing and you don't know how to dance a salsa, yeah? You need someone to show you, and you look at their legs, at the body posture, how do they move, how do they act, and you model it. So even as an adult, we learn a lot through modeling, and modeling is what shapes personality to a very high degree. The younger the child, the more it reacts towards modeling or mirroring a behavior. We don't know exactly how high the percentage is of what a child learns through the role modeling of this kind of personality, but we know that in general the mirroring technique is one of the most effective techniques available. So when you have concern, this means you have concern about how your child grows up, what kind of personality it becomes. You're role modeling this to your child. So your child will be concerned about others' well-being, because you are concerned about the well-being of your child, the well-being of your life partner, of your husband, your wife, and people around, your mother, your father. So the child sees that. So that is a very important fact. So it is said that in each human being, when it's born, there are already the seeds of empathy, the seeds of caring and of compassion. And now the question of what shapes the child in its growing up, what shapes through education, will either create a spoiled child or a caring child. So this is what I'd like to give to you today, because here in Europe we are facing Christmas very soon. So before you buy a gift, please think, does your child really need it? Is it too much? All of this, think about it. It is a role modeling. It is something that you give to a child that will come back. Of course, when you have a certain festival like Christmas, you can spoil yourself a little bit. You can spoil your child a little bit. It's also fine. It's good. Your child knows sometimes you can really party. You can really have fun. You can eat more sugar than on all of the other days. You can stay up longer. But that is an exception. It should be an exception. It should not be the rule of the daily life. Okay, if you like our videos, I told you already, we'll come now regularly, once a week. Please do subscribe down and leave your comment if you have any thoughts about it. What I'm sharing here are my thoughts as an educationalist. So if you have any thoughts, please share them with us. I'm super curious about your thoughts. We are all always want to know what else is out there. How do other people think? How do they live? How are you handling your children? Other parents will also benefit when you write it in the comment. If you want to get notifications when we are online, please just click the bell. So when you subscribe, you can click the notification button. And I hope to see you soon at the next time when we give our TLI parenting ideas and share with you the next topics. So please stay tuned. Have a good day. All the best.